Hello guys, this time just for showing my new toy or upgrade to my beloved MSX1 TOSHIBA HX-21. This is the guts. As you see, I put a module here on the CPU socket because this machine have mostly everything socket. That's a very nice very nice feature of this motherboard. I removed the firmware ROM, but doesn't it's because it's Japanese. I think it's not useful. I stuck with the regular BIOS, MSX1 BIOS kernel. I tried to put I burned the CBIOS version 0.29, if I remember, but doesn't work here. Gets stuck. The only run I tested is the original BIOS. So when the first time I installed this module, the CPU upgrade for more speed, the machine doesn't get freeze all the time. After reading the manual, they said we got a special combination. Control F1 make the machine boot in a 3.57 megahertz, mostly the same speed of the regular C80 by Sharp. So that started working, but that bothered me because I put in turbo mode all the time. Turbo mode, red light. The machine stuck anytime. Now it's apparently working, but that give me problems. I discovered with the utility, one utility they provide, it's called fastbios.com. We got the option to remove the internal flash ROM. Looked like when he was sent with something here in this flash and conflict with the BIOS here, because when I delete the flash ROM here, because this ROM can replace this ROM, or with the utility we can pass this kernel BIOS to this flash BIOS, because this flash has 0 weight, so run more faster and it's more viable or compatible with the speed and turbo mode with the speed of this CPU, because this CPU has it's a 20 megahertz speed, and this module over here made this 20 megahertz clock divide in other two frequencies. I think so. The regular 3.57, the next speed is 10, the best speed, this C80 is 20 megahertz. So my RAM is located here. The internal is using the slot 3 dash 30, if you remember. Yeah, 30. Slot 3, super slot 0. So we got jumpers over here to tell, because this TAKANAMI512 contain 512 RAM inside. We can tell with this jumper if we don't use the internal, or they call local RAM 512. We can disable and use just the motherboard RAM. But in my case, I set a jumper here telling we're using a slot 30 for local RAM. So this 64 is avoided because the RAM priority for this CPU is the local. So in my test, look like it's true. This is working good in 30. Cartridge slot 3, super slot 0, the same of this motherboard. You say it's conflict. I don't know if it's conflict because it's using the same slots, but it's running well. The other thing, I connected MSXpico Pico Plus because very versatile cartridge, offer micro SD storage, audio enhancement and other things, and look like it's compatible with this HX-21 from Toshiba without this model, working fine, MSX1, but with this model working fine also, but it's a little bit tricky because in turbo mode it's giving conflicts mostly all the time, so I need to boot in 3.57 megahertz here almost all the time for run the Pico at the beginning. Why I said that? Because it's in 3.57 megahertz, the stock speed, everything is designed for that. So when we set the turbo speed, we need to be careful. Everything is set mainly everything loaded in this RAM over here, and the 512 RAM you can run to 20 megahertz turbo mode. In my test, I not did too many gains still, but the gains I tested in my other machine with turbo, with the it's a Victor with a C180 CPU by Hitachi and turbo mode, running very, very nice. So I want to compare this 20 megahertz, how compatible or how fast with this machine, the Victor. So let me adjust here the, okay. So now oh, I wanna explain a little bit. This is a expander, a slot expander. All right, with 1, 2, 3 cartridge connected right now. They are ADPCM, like the same. It's called MSX Audio 256 K ADPCM samples only. That cartridge was made by a Korean techie guy. I think it's Shark Sim. This is the WONDER99. This ADPCM module here have a extra connector on the top because you can connect IO devices. So WONDER99 is running in IO mode with the firmware. The core firmware right now is who about this? The name, I think it was Felipe Antoniosi. No, I think the HRR, the original creator of the core, the B9968. Other guy decided to implement that core using the WONDER99. So they did it because it was very similar. They adjust a little bit something. They make a core firmware for using the VDP port 88, 89, and so on. But they have the option in the stream, the firmware stream. People like me, unlucky, I can compile with the GoWin software. I think so, for Windows I use. Just modify the VDP port and compile a new core firmware for using VDP port 98, 99, 98, 90B. The same of you find in a computer series MSX2 model. So this computer is an MSX1 with this VDP. It's a 9928, but when you connect this WONDER99 with B9968 core, the whole system use this VDP instead this motherboard VDP. So conflicts exist, and people with more savvy knowledge told us to avoid the conflicts between the two video processors. Modifying over here, or maybe removing this is better. I removed this already and tested. It works very fine with this VDP. I put it over here because I wanna test how long the compatibility or the problems show up. I wanna see if we have problems with this. So I am your guinea pig to testing both things together, causing bus conflict in the video. But I didn't notice nothing bad at the moment, so I just continue waiting for the bad day when this or something start working. So this motherboard also use a transformer, electrical transformer, and this section over here get hot after a couple of hours, very hot. Don't worry about that. I saw a design in PCB way, I think so. One guy do a modification of this circuit, but I wanna at one time maybe replace the whole thing because it's getting very hot and worrying me about the heat inside. Well, now we now turn on this machine. Let's see. MSX1. You see, it's booting. Right now it's booting with the Pico and turbo mode. And turbo mode with the Pico. With the Pico. How I notice is it's booting in turbo because the sound here, when you turn, you can turn speeds. You got 3 speeds: control F1, control F2, and control F3. Control F3 I think is right now in that mode. Because the sound, the click sound, when I put control F1, something weird happened here. No, that not happen in the regular. It's crazy, right? Right now it's running in 3.5 megahertz. When you turn speed 10 megahertz, the screen is good here. Screen there is good also. So for do more things, I got a SD card inserted. Push right for check the SD card. I got a directory here, HX-21 9968. This is my test. We got different software here. All this software was tested with the Victor HC90 in turbo mode. So I want to compare what DSK works, and this configuration here is a MSX1 with turbo upgrade and video upgrade. What kind of video? The same video of the MSX2 Plus. The problem is inside here the kernel is from a MSX1 kernel. So a lot of software fail to run is because they may use or they call MSX2 kernel, but this machine doesn't have. All this software doesn't work in MSX1 with MSX1 kernel, but this software over here, Ghosts and Goblins, with acceleration for B9968 core, 20 megahertz speed runs and with this configuration here. I can launch right now because I need to, before you launch something, you need to apply low speed first. If you launch with high speed, it's almost certain doesn't work because all the flipping pages a Pico do at 20 megahertz, he can manage that. So, okay. So it's very recommendable when you're using TAKANAMI 512, when you launching things, try to launch something in 3.5 megahertz. When after it's loaded in RAM, because these images are loading in RAM probably, it's almost certain. As you see here, this list contains gains for MSX1 and MSX2 and MSX2 Plus. So, like Sonic is for a MSX2 Plus. Pac-Mania is for a MSX2. Metal Gear is Metal Gear 2 is MSX2. Okay? But all these games loading in the better speed RAM inside. For telling that, we need to make sure if you want to run something nice in 20 megahertz, we need to make sure all this software get inside of the TAKANAMI 512 512K RAM. This happen so we need to make sure because this Pico Blues have RAM also. That device has, I think it's 432K RAM, and right now we don't need we don't know if they are using this RAM or the internal RAM, so we need to make sure that what is short is in this directory. I got more games working with TAKANAMI, like these games, okay, and these games, when you launch with SOFA RAM asks you, or in automatically he choose the best memory or the more larger memory, or you can customize that for using. In this case, they are using the internal memory. They told me, the report said that I'm using the 30 slot 30, so you are 100% sure they're using the best memory, the more faster memory, so you can apply speed. We try to load Xenon Enhanced, a mod from an older ZX Spectrum game from 1987, I think so, 88. It's for MSX1, but I want to show you something. Before you launch from Pico Plus micro SD card, you need to make sure Control F1, so in 3.7 megahertz, for do all the switches, the paging, the BIOS, the kernel, internal MSXpico. That cartridge work with the slot speed, the 3.57 megahertz, more accurate. So you launch this game, leave it for Pico Plus. Decide what memory to use. Probably he used the I get stuck there. I forgot to remove this cause conflict, this software BMMSX. Sorry, this directory is designed for running from so far ROM. So let's try again. Keep it putting in turbo mode first. Piccolo good. Come back. Okay. Sorry. DSK. Probados. Via so far ROM. Right? Via so far ROM. So if this game is run in an MSX1 with MSX2 plus VDP, better than that is a VDP 9968. Okay, if we wanna run this virtual disk, the DSK with Pico, we need to start in this mode. No RAM, no Pico RAM. So we're using the best speed. So for booting with no RAM, make sure when you apply that, apply Control F1. We return to 3.57 megahertz stock speed. We're running there with our RAM, so we're switching RAM. Over here, we call software RAM. See, a lot of interference. So many cartridges connected to the machine, but it's all right. Okay. From here, let me do with this. DSK, this okay. Okay. We said so far RAM directory. I want to run this one. No, this one. This 360, I think it's created by Pico, but I wanna run the DSK. When you apply to software RAM, they told you different things. Make sure you are in 3.5 megahertz. Again. Hey. Yeah, like I told you before, I forgot something here. Oh no, no RAM. Control F1. Okay. And you apply software RAM. I forgot delete the BMMS. Yeah, we are there. Control. I stopped the bat because I don't want to use the BMM. This software causes conflict in the run, in the very fast run, so I decided to skip. I know the next command was basic. Punto bas. Oh. Yeah. I forgot to set up in 3.5 megahertz. That's important. We need to do everything in 3.5 megahertz for running mostly everything. In this moment, this game is using the module RAM, the better, faster module RAM. The speed is at 3.5 megahertz. You can notice here in the scroll the words here. Okay, when you apply Control F2, you got 10 megahertz. 10 megahertz. When you apply Control F3, you got 20 megahertz. Okay, so now I want to play a little bit in 20 megahertz. 2 for using joystick. The voices are for the module there. Okay. This is a bug I need to fix. I changed the joystick port. El audio, I got my equalizer audio over here. I can control any channel. Let me use you want to change at 3.5. That is 3.5 megahertz. Ow. Now in 10 megahertz. I prefer to put a stop just in case. This is 10 megahertz. Let's switch on fly 20 megahertz, okay? Control F3. It's almost no difference. Oh, sorry. This is it. Yeah, you need to make sure you can switch.
the center. Destroy the core.
You can see. Well, this is a quick, well, not too quick, too fast explanation, but you can see we can load MSX1 accelerated. Metal Gear 2, make sure you are in 3.5 megahertz. In this case, I'm launching directly with MSXpico Plus launcher. This game is for MSX2. but you're running very well in Pico, in MSX1 with CPU upgrade and WONDER99 upgrade. So virtually, with the WONDER99, you got a MSX2 Plus with more features, like more sprites, more color, more faster blitz, and 256K of video RAM for the new era of games, or the homebrew games we can develop for our beloved MSX community. Distortion on the screen is caused for this cable over here. You see? Oh, the pink, no, the pink is conflict for sure, but the green one is for the connection. We're running right now in 3.5 megahertz. Let's set up better speed. Oh, I need to change the USB port. Alright, let's start again. We are in 3.5 megahertz standard MSX speed. Look at that. That bug is is flipping 2 pages. Wow. You don't see those in embedded speed. Let's check it out. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, perfect. Look like it's not refreshing, just one page. Let's see again, because that don't happen usually. This is the first time I saw that. Let's try again. Let's try again. Yeah. Launching from the SD card. Metal Gear. Launching in 3.5 megahertz. Let's see if that happened again. Yeah, that happened again. Aha. Weird. .5 megahertz. mode. Yeah, I think it's using the MSXpico RAM. Let's see if we change it and we loaded the same game with SOFA RAM avoiding the MSXpico RAM. I need to move probably that game to the SOFA RAM directory. Let's see. So Metal Gear. Oh no, that one no. Metal Gear. This DSK. Yeah. Now we are sure SOFA RAM is using this memory because we tell to Pico Plus not use the internal RAM. So make sure are in 3.5 megahertz. Nothing. Setting, control, no memory mapper, no, compatible mode, I just do some adjustments over here because right now it's like a to load in slow speed. Yeah, we are on 3.5 megahertz. Oh, yeah. Probably too many cartridges I installed lastly because that was running very fine. Let me explain something. When I ran less expansions. Now just the WONDER99 and the Pico with the metal, right? As you see, this is a kind of let's try the SD card. DSK, it's okay, metal. This image. Wow, the memory is not enough. Oh, I remember now. I need more memory. That's why I add this. Listo. Yeah. This 4 megabytes RAM, I connected over here. Now let me connect the Pico. The expander. Yeah. And this Metal Gear works very fine always from that, but no this. And now my worry is about the RAM. Okay, like you see, Metal Gear was running in very fast speed because the memory there. The good thing, when you expand RAM, you're running probably to much faster CPU using external RAMs with different speeds. So we get a balance if the programmers are do the code very savvy and very smart, in a smart way, try to no conflict too much everything. With that RAM, when a Pico decide to apply the image, that's why I put it okay, because that works usually with that RAM. When you apply here, he decides between the internal RAM or the external RAM, if he discover a better RAM, okay? So they start using that RAM. It's more slower. It's not running because when you remember, we set up right now a turbo accelerator there. It's very messy when you launch something in 20 megahertz. We are right now running in, the computer is running in 20 megahertz. So before you running that, Control F1, we notice it's no garbage, because right now Pico Plus is using the external memory. So the external memory does not cause interference. The faster memory, yeah. So that is a sign you can learn when you're using in this mode, screen mode, text mode, and you're using the faster RAM, internal local RAM. Glitches occur when you're using WONDER99 with the B9968 core. Right now we are using the memory there. We apply. Oh, remember, we need to put it before you launching something. Make sure are in 3.5 megahertz, because compatibility problems, speed compatibility problems happen. So we are now running this game in 3.5 megahertz using the external RAM. So it's 3.5 megahertz from the accelerator. It's in stock mode. As you see, the glitch doesn't occur when they're using external RAM. And this game requires 512, I think so, something like that. And this is not enough. The internal Pico is just 432. So right now, I want to increase the speed in the main game. Oh, the other thing is you don't get the SCC audio. Nothing, because I got external. Let's try this one. Where's the external audio? Oh, here. We got this. Let's saturate. Let's saturate. Saturate. Before 3.5 megahertz. Let me put the switch off. .5 megahertz. Yeah, booting from micro SD, DSK, Metal Gear. I want to listen the SCC audio. Oh, yeah. Very, very. I don't get it. Oh, yeah, it's there. Just very low. Let me see if I can. Yes, SCC is not working with this configuration. Just because the software, but we'll see. 10 megahertz. It's working with external RAM. Control F3. This is 20 megahertz. You don't notice, but you notice when you're using the local RAM. So the local RAM is very, very, very important thing. One 3.5 megahertz is low. Ten megahertz. 20 megahertz. No difference. When you're using the external RAM, it's no different. No different. It's very, very distinguished when you're using local RAM and external RAM. Yeah, I remember. Okay, so this all, guys. Takanami is working.